So decal is soaking in some water, lukewarm, with a couple of drops of dishwashing detergent in it, just the stuff you use domestically. I think what's used in this household is a bit of Morning Fresh. Taking some of the water from the saucer and putting it on the model, ensuring that there's plenty of moisture for that decal to be able to slide once it comes off the decal film. Look, the backing paper, I should say. These don't take too long to loosen up, although the larger the decal, the slightly longer it will take, but there's a little bit of movement in it at the moment. Okay, you can see that decal is moving. Now it's time to take the decal paper, the backing paper and the decal across to the model. I'm putting it on the model, and in this instance I'm just going to continue to use my thumb to move and take the decal off the paper. So I'll move the decal into position a bit more, and I'll pull the paper back, and I'll keep doing that until such time as the decal is on the model and free of the paper, which it is now. Now it's time to maneuver it into place, and for this we'll use the paintbrush and my fingers still, given the decal is a little further down than I want it to be. So don't worry if it crimps up a little bit, we're able to unfurl that no problem. Okay, so getting closer to being in the right spot. Okay, very close indeed. You'll see the datum point here, which is this navigation light on the fin. It's telling us that we are roughly where we need to be. The only thing I need to do now is just iron out the leading edge of the decal. I'll do that with a combination of my finger and the paintbrush. Okay, so the paintbrush has flattened out that crimp that we had at the front. Now it's just a case of lining it up with the leading edge and ensuring that we have that nav light where we need it to be, making sure that we've got enough of the decal up the top of the fin and enough across the back here, and that we're looking at a pretty parallel line down the front of the fin. Okay, with that done, it's now a case of starting to dab it dry and ensure that what we're doing is able to press lightly into all of the different panel shapes that make up the fin of the Hornet. This will take a while because what we're doing is gently coaxing it, in the first instance with the Q-tip or the cotton bud, and in the second instance we'll use the flat edge brush. I'll come back to you in a second once we get a little bit further on and we start utilising that flat edge brush. So the decal, you can see, is starting to conform to the panel lines, but you can see here where there's still a bit of an air bubble right here, and also around here, and there's a little one on the top there. You see, using the brush with just a little bit of water, again same soapy water, you're able to run it along, dab it, and those pieces disappear. It may take you more than one go, it may reappear, but if you keep at it, but again gently, like I'm doing here, progressively as the water starts to evaporate and the decal starts to dry, it will conform to the shape. There's a couple of little bits and pieces around the navigation light which we used as the datum point, and it is almost there. Now sometimes it's good, if you're not winning, just to set the model aside for a few minutes, let the drying process take its course, and then you can come back and have another go. These decals, although very, very thin, are really quite forgiving if you treat them right. And again, that's not applying too much pressure. It's really coaxing the decal into the position that you want. But we are almost there. I'm just going to set this aside for a few more minutes and then come back and finish it off. So this time I'm going to put one of the smaller decals on, so you're seeing the application of a larger. Now it's time to put the smaller on, and these are really quite small. They are no steps and they are tiny. But you know, once you've actually loaded them all up and put them all on, it really does help bring the model to life. So exactly the same process again. I'm putting the backing paper onto the model. I'm using a little bit of water from my saucer, and then I'm just going to gently move the decal with the end of my tweezers into place. When I'm happy with the location, it's back with a cotton bud that I have just touched the end of in water, and then it's a case of just burnishing it down. And it's very hard to see. It's just on the point of my fingernail there, but that is a no step, just on the Lex fin ahead of the nav light on it. And that's it. That's how you apply them. I hope this was helpful.